Good morning and welcome to the Real P&L Trading Show. Every week I share my real P&L and each tied to a specific trading system so you can see exactly how each strategy performs in real time. And they also share my safe wheel strategy for free. And just want to you guys let me know in the comments here that my audio is working, my video is working okay, and that everything is tech-wise is up to snuff. Also, be sure to post any questions you might have. Be sure to post those early. Sometimes they come in late and I miss them because I'm on a little bit of a delay. So make sure we get those in there too. All right, I'm going to start with the earnings edge. Let's start. Oh, you can see my screen here. And you can see that I'm in NVIDIA, and you can see NVIDIA is down. So I have an open position right now. Let's take a look at the account value, 18,756. I'm going to put that into the spreadsheet, 18,756. 18,756. Okay. I wonder what SPY is trading. You guys can hear me okay, right? I haven't gotten any feedback on that. Let's see. SPY is trading at 643.26. Just keeps going up. 643.26. And you can see the last trade that I closed. Thank you, Neil. The last trade that I closed is HT, made $1,218. Of course, I have an open position on NVIDIA right now that's down around that level. But you can see my closed position. Since I started my 3.0 system, I'm 16-2, 88% win rate, average win 1,061, average loss 874. And you can see how I did in 2022, where I outperformed the market by 80% in 2023, underperformed by about 7%. In 2024, I underperformed by around 50%. I was down pretty good. And then I came in with my 3.0 system, and I'm outperforming the market by about 200% this year. I pretty much tripled my account, and I'm up 275% since I began trading the earnings edge in January of 2022. The market's up 35% over the last 3.5 years. So the market's on pace for the normal, 8 to 10% a year return. That's pretty much what it's done since January 2022. All right, let's talk about the PL5 Pro. All right, so the PL5 Pro, I'm going to get into that account. That would be 226. I think it's this one here. Let's take a look. Yeah, 424.037. 424.037. Okay. Let me put that in there. 424.037. Up about $4,000 this week. And you can see I'm still down this year about 9.5%. The market's up around 10%, so I'm underperforming. But last year, started trading this live on July 19th, 2024. And last year was up 16%, where the market was up 6.65. So I'm up about 5% on a total basis, and the market's up 17% since that time frame. So underperforming a little bit here. Actually, I wouldn't say majorly underperforming, but underperforming. But I do believe this is going to recover here and eventually surpass, especially if we have a grind down market or a crash market or a sideways market significantly. Then I'm going to come in and I strongly believe that this is going to pass the market up. Bull markets, now I'm not going to outperform a bull market with this system, but we're not always in a bull market. So that's why I can eventually outperform with this. Okay, then the other one is, my next is the PL5, and this is where I trade about I started with a $30,000 account. I use Interactive Brokers because I'm trading options on /ES, and the commissions with Thinkorswim are just astronomically high, so I use Interactive Brokers. So here's my interactive brokers account. I can't show you the whole screen. If I did, it would show my account number. So I'll just show you here my my netlick 33,679. You can see it there. 33,679. So it's up from last week. This trade's a little bit different. The PL5, the way I do this, I use a variance, and I'm actually long the market at the same time that I run the PL5. So it has about the same risk as the market. So I started this on July 16, 2024, and through 2024, this system was up 10.2%. The market was up 3.9%. And now so far this year, I'm up 1.85%. The market, of course, is up almost 10%. And so overall, the total since July 16th, 2024, the PL5 is up 12.26 and the market's up 14.2. So I'm underperforming just slightly there, but I do have about the same risk. So these nominal numbers are going to give you the real, that's the risk adjusted number. The PL5 Pro, the risk adjusted numbers, you can pretty much double this 5% here. So really on a risk adjusted basis, it would be like comparing 10% to 17%, but still underperforming on a risk adjusted basis a little bit there. All right, let's talk about the safe wheel. What's going on with the safe wheel? You can see all my results from 2022 with this safe wheel. And I'm going to go ahead and take the account. And is account here at lick 55.24. I've made every single trade live here, 55.24. So up a little bit from last week. You can see that the safe wheel is pretty much at break even, up about 1% this year. In 2022, the safe wheel outperformed by 40%. In 2023, underperformed by 20%. And in 2024, it underperformed by around 37%. Now, with the safe wheel, you get about half the drawdown. So on a risk adjusted basis, you can see that my total return is around 10.48, but really when you compare it to the S&P, it's really around 21% because it only has about half the drawdown. So on a risk adjusted basis, still underperforming a little bit. But the thing about the safe wheel is, number one, it's safe. And number two, I really think that it's almost the best way to learn how to trade options because you're doing something that's super safe, but you're also learning how to trade options and how to be consistent. And you learn a lot about options and your money. For me to learn, I can't paper trade. I mean, I'm not against paper trading, but I couldn't do it because I just don't pay attention. So I've got to trade real money for me to really pay attention. And for you to learn, I think it's a great way to learn how to trade options. And it's a low risk way to learn how to trade. Tell me another way that's a low risk way to how to trade options. I mean, it's pretty rare to find that. And so this system is fantastic for that. And I'm actually giving it away for free at this time. I'm not sure how long I'm going to continue to do this, but if you hit the link in the description, you can get this whole course that I put together. It took me a long time to put it together. It's got a flow chart, tells you exactly what to do and when. It's got the filters as far as picking the right stock to trade, all that. I'm giving away the whole course for free. You just hit the link in the description and you can get access to the course. All right, so that's the safe wheel. I'm actually now going to trade the safe wheel. Like I said, I've traded the safe wheel, everything live. Now I do buy these little $5 calls every Friday, but other than that, I've made every single trade live on YouTube. I'm just wondering, I don't think there's anyone else that actually trades their account live on YouTube. There might be a couple others, some people that, if you need to front run somebody, you probably would want to trade live. But other than that, I don't. Front running could be a situation where you tell people you get into a stock and then you tell them you're going to get in, so everyone buys, and then you sell your stock, and then a couple seconds later, 10 seconds later, you tell them that to sell it. But while you're selling your stock, you're telling them you're buying it. So it keeps going up and up, so you can sell into that. And then you tell them that you sold, and then the stock price collapsed, and everybody else loses money except for the guy that was in the front of the line. So you use low float stocks for that. So I believe I've seen people do that online, but I'm not going to name any names. But anyway, so yeah, I've traded every single trade here live right in front of you in this particular account with the safe wheel. All right, so let's get into what am I going to do? So with the safe wheel, I've got 2 hedges, and I've got to test these hedges out and make sure that they are doing what they're supposed to do, and that that I'm following the rules. So with this particular hedge, this put hedge, the first thing I want to do is I want to ask myself 3 questions to see if I need to do anything with it, change it, update it. So first question is, do I own 200 shares? And the answer is no. If the answer was yes, I would see if it had paid off and it was worth more than the 200 shares, or if it was up more than the 200 shares would be down. But I don't have 200 shares, so the answer is no. Then how many days in trade? I have 123. If I was under 100, it would decay too fast, and I would need to roll it out. But it's 123, so that's fine. And then the next question is this 25 put, because it's the 25 strike, close enough within 70% to the 3194? Let's do some numbers here. So it's be 25 divided by, let's just call it $32. So yeah, it's 78%. So it's close enough. So I do nothing. It's doing its job. Everything's good there. I have my long call that I bought. I paid $6 for it. It's the $35 call, and it's there in case there's a takeover bid on JD, and JD goes to like $50 or $100 or something like that. I can, I'll have this long call here. So that my hedges are in place. Now I'm going to run the traditional wheel, the one that everyone talks about on YouTube. And right now I own 100 shares, and my basis when I got in was at 33. So I want to try to sell the $33 call, and I want to get at least 32 cents. So let's see if I can do that. So I'm going to do it here in the options that expire at the end of the week. I can get the most bang for my buck for these guys. So the 33 is selling for around 20 cents. I can't get 32 cents for it. So I can't get enough premium for it. So I'm not going to sell the covered call. So what am I going to do? I'm going to basically kind of martingale, and I'm going to add to my position. I'm going to double down on my position, and I'm going to sell another put. And I want to sell that put out of the money, and I want to get at least 32 cents. So here is the 31.50. I go with a 31, but I can't get 32 cents. So I'm going to go to the 31.50, and I'm going to be able to get probably around 32 cents or more. So I'm going to sell this put. So this system is designed to own 200 shares maximum. So I won't do this again, but I'm going to go ahead and add to my position basically. And my bid price is 32. So I'm going to sell one. And the reason why I'm going to sell one is because I have the system sized perfectly. And if I have between $5,000 and $10,000, I will do one wheel strategy, and I will have 3 put hedges. If I go to $10,000 to $15,000, I can move that up. So I have 6 put hedges, and I run 2 option contracts on the wheel. All right, let's see what I can get here. Good, I got 33. Collect another $33. So one thing about the safe wheel, ABC, always be collecting. So I'm always collecting premium every week, and I collected $33. I don't even look at this account, but I just come in and look at it once a week. And that's the way I like to trade. Just very low maintenance. All right, let's see if there's any questions or comments. Shovel said he was first. He actually was first today. Good morning, Kevin. And I appreciate it, Neil, that you let me know everything is working. Neil says, my work meetings have changed, so I can now listen to you live again. Great, Neil. I'm glad that you're here. And Neil says, click the like to support Carl's safe wheel trading. Yes, I'd appreciate it if you click the like button. I have a goal, and that is to get this industry changed. I want everyone in this industry to share their net liquidation, their P&L on a consistent basis. Because if you're not seeing that, how do you know? If you don't see their track record consistently, how do you know if they're profitable? How do you know if they're making money? Do you want to learn from someone that's profitable? If you don't want to learn from someone that's profitable, that's okay. You shouldn't care about seeing their P&L. But if you believe that you want to learn from someone that is profitable, you do want to see their track record, you do want to see their P&L, and we need to get the word out. Now there's a link, in the description of this video, I have some questions that you can ask. You can just copy and post it into the comment section of any trading instructor, and you can be professional and you can ask them if they believe that instructors should be profitable in order to teach others how to be profitable. And then you ask them if instructors should share their P&L. And it's a very professional way, but it's the way to get the word out and see how they react to that, because that's really going to tell you a lot. If they react by kicking you out, banning you, obviously they don't want to share their P&L. If they don't want to share their P&L, why is that? And it probably has to do with the fact that they're not making money. And so they don't want anyone to know that. Because wouldn't they, if they were making money, wouldn't they share? I think they would. So if you hit the like button, you'll support this channel, you'll support this video, and it will get the word out to others to spread the word that I want everybody to ask those questions to everyone, all the instructors. I just want to see them out there everywhere. Wouldn't that be awesome? It would actually change this industry and force people to start sharing their net liquidation, or people would not buy from them. So why spend money on somebody that doesn't have a track record? I don't get it. But let's spread the word. And the only way to do that, the best way that you can help, is hit that like button. And I'd appreciate that if you did. Okay, so don't see any more questions or comments. And I appreciate you guys. And I'm going to go ahead and wind down the session here. And I always say in parting, if the P&L is not real, what else are they trying to conceal? Okay, I'll be back next week.